Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's been a very long break since the last podcast episode for the Better, Bolder, Braver pod. Not that you've been counting the days, and that's okay, but we haven't recorded one for a while on the basis that we thought we would record one when we had some exciting news, and here it is. Some very exciting news. I'm delighted to announce that a new chapter of Better, Bolder, Braver is coming imminently, and you should get wind of this recording in the context of what that exciting new era looks like. Kieran and Ellie have been in the Better, Bolder, Braver community for nearly 3 years. They are founding members. They have worked their way through our coaches' marketing journey, come out the other side. They haven't necessarily finished with the course, but they certainly are experts in the Better, Bolder, Braver community life. And I was very moved recently when they approached me with a proposition, which they're going to tell you about today, because I'm pleased to say that we are going to be moving forward with their suggestions as to how we can enhance the community. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see that we've managed to capture Kieran in a rare moment of freedom in between obligations and exciting choir commitments, family things, and Ellie also with children at home is a wonderful woman balancing motherhood and a fabulous sustainable coaching business. So it's really an honor to have them both here today to talk to you about what they're going to be adding into the mix, and an honor to have them in my life in general. So what I'll do is I'll hand over to you two to briefly introduce yourselves, maybe talk a little bit about the journey you've been on as part of Better, Bolder, Braver, and how you started and where you feel you are now, and what it is that you're going to be working on together to bring even more magic to members of the Better, Bolder, Braver community. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Frances. Kim, would you like to introduce yourself first? I always love to hear you
I'd be happy
yourself.
To. Sure. Well, I think I'll just start by saying thank you, Frances, for making it sound so glamorous, me sitting in my car, for those of you that can't see this. I think it's probably just a case of personal disorganization during the holidays, and I think Ellie is far more impressive in terms of her organization, and I would squarely say Ellie is the person to go to for that sort of thing. But yes, my journey thinking about Better, Bolder, Braver has been one where I had got to a stage of feeling quite frustrated after COVID and quite out of sorts, really, in terms of my ability to, not just market myself as a coach, but to really have clarity about what I was offering as a coach. And I happened upon Better, Bolder, Braver by complete chance through a direct marketing attempt, which Frances picked up and kindly invited me to be involved. And I'm so glad that I did, because the journey I've been on over the last 3 years has really asked some deep and tough questions about what it is that I want to offer as a coach. But I think just as importantly as that, probably more importantly to the longer term journey, has been the access it's given me to like-minded people, of whom Ellie is someone that has had a huge impact on the way that I work and the way that I've kind of formulated my coaching style, and also, a huge source of encouragement for me over the last few years in terms of trying things out, iterating things, and keeping going. Because I think one of the key things, once you've learned about the sort of technical elements of marketing, is the resilience that you need to build up as an individual, as somebody that's maybe come out of a corporate career or come out of working for an agency, as I was, where there was more of a sense of, you come along, the clients turn up. And it's like, when you work for yourself, actually marketing is part and parcel of what you need to do as a coach. So kind of making your peace with it, which is what I felt I've had to do, is a really important part of that. So for me, I went from being, when I first joined Better, Bolder, Braver, a voice coach who was working on accent and effective communication skills, to developing a number of different things really through the work that I've done through going through the CMJ and also through the work Ellie and I have done together through sort of some co-coaching over the last couple of years, to the point whereby now I've got combined products that bring together my filmmaking skills, which I developed many years ago, and my coaching, where I have brought my knowledge of the Enneagram, something that was previously was in the background for me in my coaching, into the foreground, and where I've just felt safe to explore and experiment with different things. So I think that combination of technical knowledge, which has really come from BBB, and the sense of community, bringing together with like-minded people who will challenge me in a loving way, has been the real kind of glue that's made things stick.
That's lovely. Thanks, Kieran. Ellie, why don't you introduce yourself similarly, and then we can get into what it is that you two are going to be giving back.
Yeah, of course I will. Thank you, Francis. It was lovely listening to you then, Kieran. Just remembering, goodness, that 2.5, 3 years ago when we first met via Better Bolder Braver. So yeah, I'm Ellie Lloyd-Jones. I bring like the northern part of the contingent for Better Bolder Braver because I live north of the M25 up in Cheshire. And as Francis said, I've also been part of the community, one of the founding members, and I heard about it on Francis and Simon, when you started the community and you did the interview on the association or coaching podcast. So that's where I first heard of the community. And similar to Kieran, at the start of that, I found the community aspect so helpful and just so rewarding, because it's a real Better Bolder Braver seems to attract coaches who are looking to build their coaching community, their coaching practice for good, and trying to really offer something good in the world and offer something good for themselves. And it feels like the first thing that I was able to purchase that wasn't magic beans, that didn't promise me the world, in just, a few short sessions. And what I loved about the coach's marketing journey is it helped me to dig into who I am and who I want to bring out into the world, because that's a choice I can make. And previous iterations of marketing that I'd found was very much around this certain process works for this individual, so therefore if you do what I say, it will work for you. Whereas the coach's marketing journey is very different to that. And then Kieran and I obviously met through the community, but we reached out to each other and we're just chatting. We were very much on the same journey at the same time. And what I loved is that we were able to really bounce ideas off each other. And we called each other our silent business partners, didn't we, Kieran? Because we were able to really, put iterations out there. And it was Kieran who was able to identify in me my love of nature, my love of coaching, and bring the two together. So now I have a nature-based coaching business, and it's just so me. I can't actually believe it took the coach's marketing journey and Kieran's point it out to me. But I can feel the difference and the shift in how it just feels part of who I am, and it's what people gravitate towards, and it's my place in the world, and that wouldn't have been possible without Better Bolder Braver and Kieran. So I'm really excited to be on this part of the journey where I get to give back to Better Bolder Braver, because it's got such a special part in my place in my heart, and the added bonus of working closely with Kieran and with you, Francis, I'm really excited about.
Yeah, me too. And just so that everyone who's listening in is aware, what we have now by way of products, if you like, is an offering from Kieran that can support people get a lot more comfortable on camera, which a number of people in the community have taken advantage of. In addition, Kieran holds an amazing regular bi-weekly space called Enneagram Cafe, which again a number of people in the community and many outside the community come to, are regulars at, which has a really lovely subscription, very sort of affordable price point, and is a great way to explore the Enneagram, which if you look Kieran up, because Kieran has a great website you can find out more about, kieranmorris.com, correct, Kieran? And in turn, Ellie now runs some really wonderful networking coaching experiences for people up in the north, but she's also supporting other coaches in and out of the community to learn from her how to build similar experiences wherever they are geographically. So do reach out to Ellie if you are considering a coaching in nature experience and you'd like to learn from her. She has a model that she's made easily replicable for people as part of her offering, alongside actually running the networking and a wonderful podcast that complements it, along with another community member called Chris Kenworthy. So all that being said, we've gone from people who've joined the community with not a lot of clarity about what they want to do or a sense of what they think they want to do, and actually they've transformed into being able to now do what really fits in with their lifestyle and reflects their personal skills very well. And just listening to what Ellie was saying, something I wrote down was personal, not prescriptive, which is our whole approach to marketing really in this community, and indeed to tackle the toxic marketing bullshit, as we call it. And in that vein of personal, not prescriptive, Kieran and Ellie have come to me to offer a complementary way of supporting people along the coach's marketing journey that speaks very much to the personal and not the prescriptive. So I'm going to flip back to you, Kieran, and ask you to tell you about your part to play in the personal and not prescriptive way of learning how to do good ethical marketing, and sort of how you're going to be working with people along their journey.
Sure. Thank you for setting that up so beautifully, Frances. I think what I will sort of touch on is you've talked about two of the things that I've developed really since being a part of Better Bolder Braver, which my Enneagram Cafe and the sort of soul portraits, coaching people on camera. And for me, they sound initially like two quite different things, but really what I've realized through iterating my coaching through Better Bolder Braver and through the work Ellie and I have done together is the realization that actually the skills that I really have are the skills of creating a safe and supportive space for people to express themselves, express their kind of vitality. And the Enneagram is a very helpful background thing for me. People don't need to know about it. I don't need to tell them I'm using it, but it's a useful tool for me to help really get to the kind of core values that we hold. And as coaching relationships are so much about how we work with other people and how we get on with other people and the kind of the sense of the relationship that we build, it makes so much sense to me that when marketing and expressing ourselves as coaches, it's really vital that we have a sense of who we are, what our story is, why we have reached this point, and why it is that our specific form of coaching is valuable. This is the stuff that helps it resonate with the people that we want to work with. And it really helps us also to find those clients, those ideal fits, the niche, which can be that sort of slippery thing. I think when you start as a coach, that sense of picking a niche and narrowing down, feeling like such a restrictive, contracting sort of thing. So for me, actually getting under the skin of the values that we individually hold, really bringing that sense of self forwards and using that as a basis for help defining the niche, for help finding your ideal client, for helping to find the language that you'll actually be using in your marketing as you express yourself. And when you do that deeper work, it can sometimes feel as though, you're not doing the marketing. The marketing is, pushing out content the whole time. The marketing is writing things. It's coming up with graphics on Canva. But actually, that's the sort of the technical aspect of marketing. And whilst those skills are absolutely essential to develop, I think, for all of us, actually having those reinforced from knowing where we're coming from as a coach is such a vital thing that I have learned over the last few years, that the depth of what we're doing needs to come first. And that doesn't mean we need to be complete either. It's a cycle. As people watching this and listening to this can see and hear, Ellie and I have been here for nearly 3 years, not just for fun, but because it's an environment that fosters this sense of, sort of resilience and iteration. And that's such an important part of going through this. So my work in supporting the CMJ is really going to be about helping people to get in touch more with the sense of what their value is, what their story is, how they extract these elements, these kind of threads of gold that we all have, and how we then sort of build this sense of what it is that we have to offer, which can then really underpin the marketing itself. And that's, I feel that's the kind of half that I do. And Ellie has this fantastic, ability to hold what we've kind of drawn out and develop that into what happens out there. But obviously, I want Ellie to speak to that. But that's how I feel the two of us work well in synergy together.
Perfect. Okay, thanks so much, Kieran. So Ellie, yeah, what do you then do with people along the way as Kieran is supporting them in getting clear on where they're coming from, and to develop, as he says, resilience and be able to iterate as they go?
Thank you. Thanks, Kieran. So yeah, the work that I will do will be building on what Kieran does. I don't know if you're watching this or if you're listening, you may have heard a slight interruption at my end a moment ago because my one of my children came in and then let the dog in that we are looking after at the minute. And that kind of sums up what I'm going to be helping to bring to this. I have quite a lot of hats that I wear. I have 3 children, currently dog sitting. I work part-time in a local primary school, and I run my own coaching business that also has multifacets in it. So I'm helping you to build on the work that Kieran does with knowing yourself and who you are. And I'm helping you to show the part of that feels comfortable for you. There's a lot in marketing about being really vulnerable and putting yourself out there, but I think there's a line, and it might not feel comfortable for you to share absolutely everything that you're going through, and that's fine. So a lot of people that I work with come to me because of boundaries, and they want to understand what the boundaries are for them, how to hold still to them, and what that looks like for their marketing. How do you show that part of yourself that you've started to understand as you do workshops with Kieran, and know exactly who you are? And then I help you to understand which part of that feels right for you to show, where your boundaries are, where your non-negotiables are, what feels right for you. Because yes, there's lots of marketing out there that tells you that you should be on LinkedIn every day or social media every day, or you should be out there in person. That whatever the thing that's right for you is what's right for you. It's not what is right for everybody else. And that could look different times of the day. So I help in my sessions for you to bring that out and feel really comfortable with it once you know who you are through the work with Kieran. And then I'll help to hold these frameworks for you and get things that are working for you, not for everybody else, because I know, because I live it every day.
Thanks, Ellie. That's awesome. So this was just a brief recording to give you a sense of how things are moving forward in the community, and just to round off this little presentation to you, I thought we could just be really clear to people as to what it was they would get if they joined the community. So one thing that I'm really clear about is that we do not want to put up the cost of the community. I want to keep it inclusive. Neither do I want it to be super duper cheap, so we have 3 million people in it not really taking part, and so the £50 a month membership has fitted really well. We've got one of the highest retention rates, hate that word, such a marketing term, but one of the highest rates of people who want to stick around amongst Mighty communities, as they're called, by the Mighty Networks platform on which we host Best Builder Braver. So £50 is how much it costs to join. And we have been running the Coaches Marketing Journey for the last 3 years. And Simon and I, who co-founded it, put a lot of work and time into the design, so much so that we've had good feedback. We haven't needed to iterate too much, but we do add to it frequently in terms of additional reading and material. One works through it in a self-paced way, but we also punctuate it with bi-weekly check-in sessions. And for the first time ever, I've decided that we're not going to have people be able to join the community whenever they want to, but rather we'll invite them to join at a particular time in the lead up to the start of the CMJ sprint, as we call it, so that everybody can join the mindset chapter 1 check-in together, take some time to get to know each other, And then as they work, albeit at their own pace over the next 12 weeks, which is the time that we'll take to host those bi-weekly sprints, they will also now benefit from regular sessions with Kieran and Ellie to complement the journey as they have described, in terms of getting to know themselves and then getting to know what their own limits, needs, wants and boundaries are, and to what degree they would like to put themselves out there in the world, with, as you might call it, authenticity and vulnerability and honesty, or not, as the case may be, according to what your personal circumstances are, what's sustainable for you, and everything to do with pricing and how much you want to coach people for how long and who they are will come out of the wash as you go through the journey. So now is a great time to join. You also will continue to get access to me, and this is all included in your membership, as I will continue to run the reflection and confidence sessions once a week, which are a very closed and safe and unrecorded space to explore how the whole marketing thing is making you feel. And I'm very pleased also to say and announce here that we are going to be hosting the sessions in the main in the afternoons to allow people in the UK to enjoy a day's work or marketing, and then to come to a session as a way of digesting their day, and as a treat. But that also means that our friends over the pond on both the east and west coasts of the United States will be able to join us as well, which is something that has been suggested by people in the States who seem to think there's nothing like Better, Bolder, Braver over there. So all of these new bits of fun are announcements made right now to you in this recording. We hope you will consider joining Better, Bolder, Braver, and if you are already there, fabulous. You can now enjoy, in addition to all the usual things, Kieran and Ellie. Is there anything that either of you would like to add at this point about your own personal journey as a result of now offering these things, and how you think it's going to enhance your own experience, and what you would therefore suggest that people in the community might imagine for themselves? You can mention the tools and techniques idea, for example, that we've discussed. What do you think people have got in store if they want to stick around for the long run? Kieran?
Well, I was just going to start by saying that, just reiterating really what value I think the community actually offers when you compare this to any number of other professional services. When you think about what it would cost to outsource marketing, if you are here considering joining the community, I'd be willing to bet that you've either hit a brick wall with marketing, or you've tried some things out which you did not feel particularly comfortable with. And I think that's a pretty good sign that you're in the right place. And it's priced at a price, as you said, Francis. It's affordable, but it's not too little that we've got too many people. And I think that's a really important sort of balance to have a good number of people, a consistent core of people that come along and learn together and grow together, because that's how you foster the quality of relationships. So I think that's a really important piece of the puzzle here. Is actually it's what you're developing here is not just something where it's a one size fits all, kind of pay the money and suddenly your marketing's ticked off. It's about entering and understanding the journey of what it is to market yourself, and that goes far deeper, I now know, than just putting some posts up on LinkedIn or creating some nice graphics. It is a much deeper journey, and it is a journey which is greatly enhanced, and I would say made possible by doing it with other people. So I think, yeah, it's from my side, I think just if it's a decision that feels like it's just about money, it might not be the right piece of consideration. Think more deeply about, what this actually represents.
And I do hope that your personal experience of the community is going to get enhanced by your now offering something over and above the learning that you have enjoyed. And my invitation to people in the community is to consider what they'd like to give back. We're going to be offering tools and technique sessions, as we have done for the last couple of years. But my invitation is that members of the community who might also wear a hat that speaks to doing marketing, such as being able to make videos or podcasts or anything else that might lend itself to being able to put yourself out there with more clarity, confidence, and joy, comes forward, runs a tools and techniques session, and therefore practices what it is to be able to present to a group, how to price to a group, because the invitation is that you can then offer your services in and out of the community, which is another great benefit of the networking. And in turn, I'm very excited for Kieran and Ellie and how more people get to know what it is that they can do to support people. And Ellie, do you have anything in addition to that you sort of feel will be enhanced about your own experience in the community now that you're going to be working in this sort of more formal way as a community mentor along with myself and Kieran?
I was just going to speak to the resilience piece that Kieran mentioned, has mentioned a couple of times, and that's what I found most helpful from the community, that there's this unique way that Better Bolder Braver attracts, like I said before, like-minded coaches. But I've got about 7 people that I've met in the community who are just genuinely my kind of people, both of you included in this.
Who are the other 5? No, I'm joking.
I genuinely feel incredibly lucky and grateful to have met, and I think that's the way that Better Bolder Braver attracts the sort of people who are like-minded, who are genuinely beautiful souls doing amazing things in the world. And I think that really helps the resilience piece, because as the coach's marketing journey is named for a reason, it's a journey. It's not the coach's marketing sort of magic dust. It is a journey, and it keeps being reiterated. And I've done that journey a couple of times. And it's having a group of people in the community who are there for you, who will cheerlead you, who will be there when things have gone not so well, when we become champion failures because we failed so many times, because you have to find what's right. And it can be really, really hard doing that on your own. It can be really hard anyway, but knowing that you've got a group of people in a safe space, and I would say that that's what I found the most out of Better Bolder Braver, is that the spaces that are held are always incredibly safe. And I'm hopeful that Kieran and I can continue that ethos in the space that we hold and provide. There's a safe space for people to come, to be honest, to share what is going on for them at the minute, what's working, what isn't working well. And Kieran and I can hold that space to help get through those really horrible patches where you maybe don't just want to throw in the towel, because Kieran and I have wanted to do that plenty of times over the last few years. And it's only through having each other that we've held each other to keep going into the space where we are now. So I'm really honoured and really excited to be part of this community that helps to bring me to so many amazing people.
Oh, thank you. And on that note as well, we are constantly looking to iterate, and of course, we have really enjoyed the inclusivity that being online has allowed for, in terms of those of us who perhaps wouldn't have started businesses with children at home, but have been able to. That having been said, I think people are craving being in each other's company in real life, as it were, and in nature. And perhaps there'll be more of a chance, thanks to Ellie's modelling of getting together for networking, for the community to get together in real life more often. And there's people around the country and of course overseas, and my hope is that people get together more frequently in real life. So that sort of is it really. And the first mindset chapter of the new sprint of the coach's marketing journey, the first check-in will be in the afternoon on the 23rd of April. We're recording this on the 2nd of April, so this is not an April Fool's. This is a for real piece of exciting news. The day after the 1st of April, you have a couple of weeks to consider it. I'm pleased to say that we're also still offering a 2 weeks trial period if you'd like to come and join the community and sort of get your feet under the desk before the check-in on the 23rd of April. And Ellie and Kieran and I are all there and ready to help if there's anything that you need on joining. So thank you for listening, and we hope to see you there, or look forward to seeing you soon if you're already there. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi.